12. And it wasn't a great day for Bennett. 24-38, 224 yards, and 4 picks. Also wasn't that impressive with Trey Lance for the Cowboys, 25 of 41, just 188 yards and 44 rushing yards. Time now to welcome in CBS Sports football analyst and 2-time Super Bowl champ Brian McFadden. And B-Mac, before that last drive, I thought we would be talking more about how Stetson Bennett had a rough day with those 4 picks, but he redeemed himself a bit with that last game-winning drive. What were your takeaways from him, given that he's going to be the backup for the first 2 games of the season with Jimmy G suspended?
Just a short-term memory for Stetson. You talked about the 4 interceptions throughout, 3.5 quarters of the ball game. He was thrown to the opposite color. Didn't look well, didn't see the football field well, and was just allowing turnovers to happen for his offense. But then when you talk about what happened that last drive, I mean, I don't want to say that last drive kind of go right for Stetson Bennett through the majority of that ball game, Chris, but it kind of did, because now we're talking about fighting through having their best day. For Stetson Bennett, yes, he wasn't having his best day, but even when the moment was at its biggest, he stood up to the test and he answered the call. And because of that, we're talking about that game-winning touchdown more so than the 4 interceptions that he threw before that game-winning touchdown.
So clearly he knew we were going to talk about him, so that's why he changed the script, so we would talk about him in a positive light. Now, Anthony Richardson playing in his first NFL game since week 5 of last season due to a shoulder injury. And we didn't see him for very long, B-Mac, against the Broncos. Just 2 for 4, 24 yards, 1 carry. How did he look to you as the Colts look to build around him?
Well, the most important thing for me with Anthony Richardson, watching the small sample size with him today, was he looks healthy. That's the most important thing. And health is going to be a key component for Anthony Richardson in regards to if he is successful or if he will be a little rocky when it comes to being a professional quarterback. Because we saw a year ago, he played in 4 ball games, Chris, but in 2 of those ball games, he didn't finish the entire ball game. But he still had 7 total touchdowns to 1 interception. So it's safe to say in 2 full ball games and playing spot duty, to say the least, in the other 2 games, he was very, very successful as an individual quarterback playmaker for this offense. So for me, it's about Anthony Richardson. Number 1, he looked healthy. He came out of the ball game healthy, and that is going to be the biggest question mark for Anthony Richardson in year 2 of his young professional career for the Colts. Just staying healthy, because he's a very, very big, athletic, mobile quarterback, and at some point in time, you want to allow him to do what his athleticism says he should do, which is be involved in the offense, running the football, being a +1 in the running game. You can't really call the ball game with bubble wrap around him. No, he has to be able to utilize and use his athleticism. So that's the biggest thing that I watched today was, number 1, he looked healthy, he came out of the ball game healthy, and hopefully that can be the same trend for him throughout the preseason as he gets ready for the regular season.
Absolutely. Can't have any scared money, right? I don't make no money when it comes to the NFL. You need to be aggressive. No sense in having bubble wrap, even though in the preseason, you definitely want to get him in there healthy and out of there healthy. Now, how about rookie QB Bo Nix? He made his NFL preseason debut on the other side of the ball. Pretty efficient, going 15 of 21 for 125 yards with the TD. And he really seemed B-Mac comfortable out there like he did at Oregon. What did you appreciate the most about his day on Sunday?
He looked like you said, when he was playing for the Oregon Ducks. The moment never looked too big for Bo Nix. When he came into the ball game, he was very, very comfortable. He was ready to rock and roll. He had command of the huddle. He had command of the offense. He was making plays, making routine plays happen routinely. That's what Bo Nix did today, and because of that, he really surprised a lot of naysayers based on what he was able to do and how fast he was able to do so. You talked about it. I mean, he had 125 yards, 1 touchdown. He played, and he had 5 series to play. They scored 20 points in those 5 series that he was a part of. That's winning like football, Chris, the last time I checked. So let's see what he can continue to do in regards to trying to solidify the starting quarterback role for the Denver Broncos. But I can tell you this much, he's off to a great start based on knowing that this is a legit quarterback competition between Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, right now, Bo Nix looks a lot more comfortable out there than Jarrett Stidham. Now, when it comes to your biggest week 1 preseason winner, who is it for you?
Let's roll it right back to Bo Nix. Bo Nix. Bo Nix is my biggest winner, and here's why. He's a part of a legit quarterback quarterback competition. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There is a competition going on for the Denver Broncos in regards to who will be their starting quarterback. Bo Nix, unfairly speaking for me, he had more opportunities than Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham had 2 series, Bo had 5. But guess what? Bo cashed in big time. Even though it's Sunday and the bank was not open, Bo cashed in. 15 of 21, 125. One big time touchdown. You see the passer rate, 102. But get this, he played in 5 series, as I mentioned. They scored 20 points in those 5 opportunities that Bo Nix was on the football field. So because of that, and knowing that this is a legit competition, Bo Nix is my biggest winner of week 1 of the preseason.
Okay, so Bo Nix is your biggest winner of week 1 of the preseason. Looks to see if he's going to be able to continue that success later on. Now, how about your biggest loser from week 1 of the preseason?
Well, unfortunately, you try to hold your breath when it comes to preseason play and injuries. But for the Kansas City Chiefs, it didn't happen for them. They're my biggest loser. Kansas City, Hollywood Brown. And the reason is because Hollywood Brown got injured. You talk about the injury, clavicle, sternum type situation, saying he's going to miss anywhere between 4 to 5 weeks. If that's the case, if that timeline is legit, he probably won't be prepared and ready to go week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. That's a big time loss, because when you look at the wide receiver unit for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2023, it was a very, very huge concern for that unit, and they had some issues to start off. They got off to a late start, but they came around to the party eventually. And then when you factor in bringing in a guy like Hollywood Brown, the speed, the quickness, the explosive ability that he has, most people felt like this could be a career year for him, being a part of an Andy Reid-led offense and catching passes from Pat Mahomes. Now, with him being injured, you don't know exactly when he will return to action for the Kansas City Chiefs and playing a part of a position that I would say is probably the biggest concern for the Chiefs on the offensive side, the wide receiver unit. And don't forget about Rashee Rice, who led them in receiving yards and receiving receptions a year ago. We don't know if he will be punished at some point in time by the NFL because of his off the field issues. So if that's the case and you don't have Hollywood Brown, depth will be a major concern for the Kansas City Chiefs when it comes to wide receivers.
100%. That's just going to put even more pressure on the great Patrick Mahomes. B-Mac, always appreciate your insight as always, man.
Yes, sir.
So, Brown's status for the Chiefs' Week 1 opener, which is just a few weeks away. Kansas City is going to reveal their championship banner and play host to the Ravens. The Chiefs ended Baltimore season en route to their 2nd straight Super Bowl title. The following night, it's the Packers and Eagles kicking